Okay, now that I've introduced you to the Unit 1 assignment, the annotated bibliography, we're going to talk about assignment number 5. If you remember, I said assignment number 5 and assignment number 6 are both going to be used to help create assignment number 7. And so both of these assignments 5 and 6 involve the article that I want you to read. And so there are a couple things to read actually for this assignment number 5. First, you're going to look at the chapter 4 in our online textbook on diversity and accessibility. And I want you to pay special attention to the section on diversity at HCC because it describes some of those programs that we use to help different groups of students be successful, like Howard Pride, like Inversiones. And then you're also going to read the first article that you're going to do your annotation of. That's this article, college completion rates are up, but the numbers will still surprise you. I have that available both in a handout in a Word document or online. If you choose to do your notes on the handout, which I completely get and encourage, I still want you to look at this online version because there are some charts here that just would not copy and paste over into the Word documents. And I think these charts, this one, oh, it went into big screen. This one, keeps going down, this one, and there's one more at the bottom. I think they're really powerful and really show the information, kind of that image is worth 1,000 words kind of thing, better than the words of the article show it. So make sure to take a look at that and look at the charts. Okay, so back to what you have to do for this assignment. For this assignment, we're going to work through those 7 pillars of information literacy that we talked about in the last assignment, in assignment 4, in order to create our annotated bibliographies. But we're going to begin that working through the pillars with something we call critical reading, right? In critical reading, we'll define that here in just a minute. Let me describe the assignment, then I'll get into talking about critical reading. So for the assignment, you're going to read and annotate the article, and I'm going to give you examples about how to do that in just a second. And then you're going to post your response to you're going to turn in your notes, first of all. Either if you do it on paper, you can take a picture of your notes, your annotations. I have mine, look in the little thing. I have mine, and I'll put that on a bigger screen in a minute. Either your annotations written on the paper, or I'll show you how to do it electronically in just a bit. So either you post your notes under this assignment, and then there's a separate assignment for a discussion board posting that asks for your reflection on this article. Again, this assignment and the critical reading you do of this article is going to help prepare you for assignment 6 and then for assignment 7. So now let's talk about critical reading and what I mean by critical reading. All right, we've already done this, introduced. So critical reading. Critical reading means moving beyond what the text means, right? So just simple comprehension like, okay, I get the gist of this, to thinking about the choices the author makes in order to communicate his or her message. Learning to read critically like this helps you improve your comprehension so that you'll be better able to read college-level text, and it can help you improve your writing skills as you look at what authors do and the moves that they make in order to help convince you of their message. In college, maybe different from high school, maybe different from what you've done in the past, you're really expected to engage and analyze with the text and challenge the ideas in the text and think about how it fits with what you already know. And so really learning how to read critically will help you to do that. Okay, the steps to reading critically. Before you begin, you want to think about your purpose for reading. And so are you reading to look for some specific information? Are you reading just for fun? That's going to gauge how critically you actually need to read the pieces that you're reading. So for us, our purpose for reading the article is to see how it contributes to the idea of looking at diversity on campus and why some groups are more successful than other groups. All right, so before you read, you're going to set your purpose for reading, and then based on that, you're going to preview the text and ask questions. Previewing the text means just looking through how many pages in it is it, what kind of subheads are there, getting an idea about what you're going to read about. And then you're going to ask questions for yourself, right? So whether your teacher gives you questions or not, you should make up your own questions about what is it that you want to get from the reading. And you can do that using the title of the article. You can use any of the subheads of the article. So this one is titled College Completion Rates Are Up, but the numbers will still surprise you. Okay, I might ask the question like, what do they mean by college completion rates? The completion rates are up since when? What do they mean by up? The numbers will surprise you. How are they going to be surprising? The numbers about college completion, maybe who completes college. I'm looking through for subheads. It says, despite upward movement, major demographic gaps persist. And so that makes me think about the different groups, thinking about what I know already, the different groups and what their differences in completion rates will be. And then there's one question in here, what if we give students 2 more years? So I want to find out what that's all about. So you should ask questions. That makes the reading more interesting for you if you're going through trying to find out the answers to those questions. We've all read things before that are not so interesting to us. And so asking questions, looking for the answers to the questions is a good way to keep you engaged with the reading. So as you read, I'm going to ask you to annotate the article. That means not just highlighting, at least for me, annotation means not just highlighting, but also making notes on the article. As you read, you're going to try to think back, every paragraph or 2 paragraphs, think back, see if you can summarize in a sentence or 2 what it means and write that in the margins. You're going to try to develop your own questions as you're going along. So as you're doing the reading, if something strikes you, write that question in the margin as an idea or something you might want to explore some more. You're going to be looking for the main idea of the reading. You might find that as you read, or you might find it afterwards. Also looking for the organizational structure. And then I also have written down here as you read that you're going to read recursively. Recursively means you might not just read it linearly through one time, or maybe you will, but then you'll go back and you'll read certain sections again. Or as you read, you might read a section, stop and summarize it, or want to summarize it, so go back and reread it. To really read critically, you often need to look at an article or the reading more than one time. Often myself, I'll go through maybe and highlight it one time and then go through and try to write the summaries and do the annotations on kind of a second reading through. So the last part I want to talk about as you read is you're also looking at the organizational structure. So if you're finding out what the main idea is, all right, so this article, we can guess that maybe the author wants you to know about college completion rates. And so I want to look at how they organize the article. What are they actually saying about college completion rates? How is it organized? They're going to tell me about different populations, different kinds of schools. What is their organizational structure? Then finally, after you read, you want to take some time and see if you can summarize the article. We have to do that here for assignment 6 is going to be for you to summarize this article. But even if you don't have to write a formal summary of it for any assignment, it's a good idea to summarize it to make sure you can repeat what the article was about. And then at some point, as you're reading, after you're reading, you also want to take some time to analyze or think about the article and whether you thought it was well done or not well done, whether there are ideas that you question or not in the article. All right, I think that's the last slide here. We're going to take a look at our article. I think I can make the screen big for a second so you can see me. So one thing you can do is you can handwrite, right? I'm kind of old school. I like to handwrite on an article. So that's one thing that you can do. So here is my notes on the article. I don't like to highlight because I don't like the way it bleeds through the page. I like to underline sentences, but you see in the margin, kind of almost for every paragraph, I have something written in the margins. And that's basically a 1-sentence summary of what happened in that paragraph. Even though these are short paragraphs, I was still able to put, a few words together that tell me what went on in that paragraph. That's really going to help me when I want to write a summary because I can kind of just take all these little words and phrases I have here and put them together to write the summary. So you can certainly print out the article, write on it, do an old school annotation like this, and then you'll take pictures of it and send it and turn it in for the assignment through Canvas. The other thing you can do, bringing up the article, that's the assignment, not the article, here's the article, is that if you want to, you can annotate it on the screen. So maybe I want to highlight this sentence, or you can underline it. I'm looking at what I was highlighting before. Going to college doesn't mean that you'll finish, okay? So I know that this is about completion. And then let's say I want to make an annotation about this paragraph. Then I can go up here under the review menu. This This is easier actually if you do it in Google Docs. Maybe I'll go back and save this as a Google Doc as well, because then it's easy to just press on, make a comment. Up here, you need to go under the review menu and you press comment. And I wrote, this is what I wrote on my paper: to get the benefits of college, you need the degree, right? Because it's talking about college completion and how many people don't complete, and so you don't get the full benefits unless you actually get the degree. And so that is what you can do, is you can do your annotations right on the document. Doing this makes me feel like, yes, I'm definitely going to give you a link to the Google Doc as well. You'll have to make a copy of it in order to do your annotations on it, but that might be easier for some of you to use Google Docs.